Hello, everyone. I'm going to go live with my face here for just a couple of minutes. I am live streaming on Facebook, so I'm hoping that there's some people watching. I am going to show really quickly how to do the turn something in for review. I do see everybody's comments on Facebook, so I'm going to be watching that as well. And if you have any questions, please either pop in or put them on Facebook and I'll get them answered as well. If I don't have any questions, I'm actually going to blow through the typical compliance part of it really quickly, just because I do have another video of this class on YouTube. So if you go to youtube.com and search KW Denton, you'll find it in there. It's called Command Compliance Class, and I go into a little bit more detail. But what I didn't spend a whole lot of time on is the commissions tab. And if you're trying to learn that, or if you're new and have not yet learned how to do a green sheet, let's just start with the commissions tab. If you would like to turn things in, this is not a requirement yet, but if you would like to stay in command and do the commissions tab rather than doing the green sheet, you are more than welcome to do so. I check both places. So I'm going to stop my video and go ahead and share my screen, and we will get to learning. Okay. So the first thing we are going to do is go to agent.kw.com. And I'm going to share my screen real quick. All right, here we go. If you're trying to get in on the Zoom and I may not see you, try to do that. So just let me know in the Facebook group and I'll come in and let you in. That way you can speak to me. So, okay, so we're going to go to agent.kw.com and we're going to sign in. The first thing you want to do anytime you're coming in to create an opportunity to turn in is create a contact. So really quickly, we'll click on the red KW in case you don't know. And then we're going to go down and click on contacts. We're going to, as soon as it loads, click on add contact. If your person might be in your database, go ahead and search right here. That way you don't enter them in there twice, but you can click here and click add contact. Full name. And we will say Jane Doe. Currently, that is the only thing with an asterisk, as you can see, but this is a database, and if you only put their name, it's not going to be a very complete database. So you put their email here, their phone number here. You can click on add more information. If you would like to be able to put this person on different smart plans, the home address goes right here. So all I did was add additional contact information, came down, add their address. And if you click on about, you can add their birthday and their home anniversary. Those are 3 different smart plans that you can sign your sellers up for or buyers. And then right here is where you add their spouse. They do have to already be in there. If you would like to, oh, and look, there's an add more under relationship. So let's see, maybe we can add additional. So if you know their son, their daughter, their brother, their sister, all of that, you can add that in there as well. That's a new feature that was not actually here last week. So yay, we got something new. But yes, you can add the spouse there. They do have to already be in there. If they're not, then do it to the second one. You don't have to do it on both. Then you're going to click create. I'm not going to do that. I've already done it. So after you create the contact, we're going to create an opportunity. So if we click on the red KW and click on opportunity, then we can click on create opportunity. Everything with a red asterisk is required. The Market Center goes ahead and comes up. On the opportunity type, we're going to want to tell it if it's a listing, a buyer, a landlord, or a tenant. I'm going to go ahead and do a listing opportunity. The owner, if you're on a team, it automatically defaults to the team, and the owner being the team, the rainmaker, and it assigns you at the bottom there. To add the client, we're going to click here and start typing their name. Jane Doe. Okay. What this does is on dot loop, you gave the loop a name. It goes ahead and decides that maybe you want to name it by the person's name and what type it is. If you would please do me a favor and somewhere in here put the street name. So if it's 123 Main Street, and you want to leave Jane Doe listing, that is perfectly fine. But if you could please put the street address in there. When you call me about 123 Main Street, if it is named Jane Doe listing, I have a hard time finding it to be able to answer your questions. Okay. Down here's the commission rate. Go ahead and enter the commission. You can change this later. So if it changes from a 3% listing down to 2% or something, for some reason, you are able to change this, but it is asking what the current commission rate is. And then under cultivate, in order to be able to turn this opportunity in, it does need to be in at least active status. We have some new opportunity stage names. These have just changed. So ramp up to live. So that would be anything from staging and all of that. And then the listing goes live. That would be, it just went live. And then negotiation. Legacy is for your previous closing. So if you import any. So I'm going to say it has gone live. No, I'm going to say it's under negotiation. We'll do that. Okay. And then I can click create. I'm not actually going to click create because I do have some of these. But what it does is it leads you into your opportunity. I wanted to show you real quick. If you want to see all of your opportunities, this is what's known as a pipeline right here. And you can quickly see how many active status, how many under contract, how many close of listings, buyers, leases. And then down here, you've got your ratios and activities. Okay. But if you are looking for a particular opportunity and you're not sure exactly where you put it, you can click on all opportunities. And that will give you a list like you are used to in, oh, interesting. Okay, I am going to actually have to create a new opportunity. I think I'm not seeing any created. I see somebody raising their hand. Let me see if I can get somebody in here. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. I am running into a couple of things here.
Well, while you have it on that particular page, I wanted to ask you on the opportunities, since I'm on the team, how do you break that down?
I'm sorry?
Is the all of the team going to be, all of Town and Country going to be added in there? I mean, listing wise, it's only Tabitha's listings, but like on the buyer's side, is it going to have all of the buyer's agents and Tabitha's stuff there?
It should have it here. I do have some, oh, there we go. Okay, they just didn't want to load earlier. It should have all of them in there, yes, under all opportunities. And this all discussions is where you can have conversations back and forth with each other.
Right. Okay.
Awesome. Okay. All right. And then let's go under All right, so when you click Create Opportunity, it's actually going to bring you over to the details page. It's going to fill in some of the information that you have already given it. But if you'd like to add any more, the little pencil at the top of the box is how you can do so. If you forgot to name your opportunity with the street address, this is where you can update that as well. All right, and then let's do cancel. There we go. All right. And then when we're talking about turning in for compliance review, we're talking about documents. So if we click on the documents section. All right. These are folders right here. In Dotloop, you had to create your own folders. In Command, it goes ahead and does that for you. So we've got our listing folder, we've got our under contract folder, and we've got our closed folder. And for each one, there's a different checklist to the right. So if we're turning in our listing for review, we're going to want to do that in the listing folder. As you come down on these checklists, if you click on Add File, if I wanted to add a listing agreement, I could click on Add File. And I could either drag and drop, or I could browse my computer to find one. Then you just click on it and click Assign. At that point, it'll upload and you'll see the actual file name right here, okay? And you'll want to do that for each one. If you have multiple files and you want to open your file folder to it and set it to the side, you could actually do add multiple files right here and then just drag and drop it into each one and click attach. That can save you some time if you are trying to upload a bunch of files all at the same time. That way you're not having to click on add a file, find it, attach on each and every one. You can just click attach one time. Okay. After you have all of them uploaded, not every one of these checklist items will actually pertain to each file. And sometimes there may be some that aren't on here that you need to add. We put the most frequently used forms here, but it's by no means all of them. So if you come to a part where you do not have a checklist item, you can click on Add Item right here. And then you can tell it what type and give it a name. And then either drag and drop into this perforated part or click Browse and then Save. That will then add it to the bottom of the checklist on its own item. If you would like to talk to compliance, you can click on this Add Comment. And what that does is open a chat box over here. Patty saw mine when I did this for this one for class, so she talked back. But yes, if it creates a chat box right here, and you can go back and forth. Once you are ready, after you've uploaded something, this button right here that says Submitted will actually light up in a turquoise color, and you can click Submit for review. At that point, this right here will say Submitted. And what you're waiting on is this red notice icon up here. It typically happens overnight or over the weekend. And then when you click on it, and it will say here that it has been approved or rejected. If it's been rejected, you'll see a red box right here. And something here will be rejected. Let's say that I forgot something on my listing agreement, then it'll have a red box right here that says rejected. And I do have to replace that file. So instead, let's say I didn't put all of the words in the IBS form and she rejected it. I could click the dots here, click replace, and upload the new one. One thing to note is it does need to be named slightly different. Otherwise, the system does not realize that you have uploaded a different version. It thinks you uploaded the same version. All right. So if you need to see any of the ones behind it, this version history actually does show you all of the different ones, just like it did in Dotloop. If you need to change checklists, let's say under contract, you've had one that was approved, you had your CDA, you were ready to go, and somehow it terminated. Now you have another contract. This little down arrow right here, if you click on that and click add a version, you can actually get a whole new checklist and flip back and forth. That way you keep all of your listing stuff together, but start a new contract. Okay. All right. And then let's say our listing is approved. We're under contract. I have uploaded everything here that I need to do and it's approved. How do we get to the commissions tab? I'm going to skip to the commissions tab and teach mostly on this today. This is not required. If you still like to do your green sheet and want to stay with that, you are absolutely able to do so. If you'd like to start trying the commissions tab, this is where we're going. Green sheets will sunset one day. So if you would like to go ahead and play with the commissions tab, here's how you do that. Do you see how the commissions tab is actually not lit up and I'm not able to come over here? That's because I haven't submitted an offer yet. So if you click on offers, you want to add a new offer. This is really set up in case you've gotten multiple offers and want a side-by-side comparison of them. So if you got 3 offers and you want to show your seller black and white what each one looks like, and let them choose the one that's best for them, this system is amazing for that. So we're going to click on create offer. Again, if you need any further detail on how to submit for review, I do have last week's Command Compliance class in our YouTube channel, KW, or go to YouTube and search KW Denton. I go into a little more detail on that previous section, but I did want to jump into the commissions tab and spend a little bit more time there on this video. Okay, so on you can name this version anything you want that's gonna trigger you to know which one it is. So you can name it by the buyer's name or the agent's name or offer 1, 2, 3, however you want to do that, you can do that here. You give it an offer date and a close date. I'm going to go ahead and move the close date out a little bit. So let's say it's going to close at the end of the month. I'm going to click on parties. You do have to put the party's information here. So the buyer, let's say Jane Doe is purchasing it. I'll go ahead and leave it as my husband is buying this property. Okay, the other part that does require is the associate's name. I am currently representing the listing, so the buyer's name comes up. Let's just say Brad is representing Jane Doe. So those are the only fields on this page that are required currently. Now we're going to click on terms. Okay. So this is where you would go to page 1. Let's say that the house they are buying is $100,000 and they're putting down 10%. So I'm going to say on the cash that they are putting down $10,000 and they are financing $9,000. It goes ahead and calculates the sales price for me here. You can give it the earnest money amount. Let's say they are giving $1,000 earnest money and $100 option fee. This is where it will really line up these offers side by side and give a great comparison for your people. The option period is here. So let's say it's a 5-day option. If the seller is contributing anything to home warranty, it goes here. And if they're contributing anything for settlement statements, so closing costs, it go here. I'm going to say they're not. Then I'm going to go to the agent analysis. This is where you'll actually talk to your seller and or buyer and tell them what are the pros of this offer, what are the cons of this offer, and if you want to give a summary, you can as well. These fields are not required. If you're just doing this to get to the commissions tab, you can absolutely just click save. Okay, so now it has the offer down here. If I had another one, I would click add offer and go through the same process, and it would be down here as well. But I am just going to accept this one. So that was my only offer. We accepted it. We're now under contract. When you click accept, it opens up the commissions tab. See, now I can actually click on it. And this is where it is like the agent details part of the green sheet. Please notice that on a green sheet, you had to go in and fill in the property address, all of the information that we just did in the offers tab, plus some. So here's some of the time saving features. This, I didn't have to go in and do the commission. It auto-filled that. It filled the price. This system is set up that over time, when we adopt the full thing, it's going to save us a lot of time, extra time later. But okay, so we've got the $100,000 house at 3% listing. It calculated the sale or the commission amount, and it auto-calculated the units. One thing to note is that if you have both sides, you should have been doing this from the beginning. Let's say you have the seller and the buyer, but just in case you haven't been, you have to have two separate opportunities. Your listing stuff should never be with your buyer's stuff. You need to turn in the listing and the listing contract with any of that stuff in as one opportunity. And then you need to create a second opportunity for the buyer side. When you're using the commissions tab, it absolutely requires this. This is not editable. I cannot make this 2 units. So I cannot add the buyer side of the commission onto the commissions tab. It should have been separated anyways, but just in case you've been doing it the other way, this system is not set up for that and you will not be able to do that. So this is just the listing side. The contract date, what date it went under contract? We'll say it went under contract today. And the closing date. This actually auto-populated from the previous accepted offer. If you need to change it, you do have to go under the offers tab up here to change that. Okay. If you are adding if you have a referral, you do need to click on add co-broker payment. This is where you fill in, just like you did at the bottom of a green sheet, all of the information for the person you are sending the referral to. This does not, however, take the money out of the commission, and I will show you how to do that. This is just for information, and please be sure that you have the W-9 and the referral agreement in your opportunity so that when I go in to create your CDA, I have all the information needed. Okay, so now the agent breakdown. We have the agent is me. That's the way I had come in and turned in this opportunity. The unit, if I would like to change this unit to 0.25, no, if it lets me, 0.25, let me type. It's not letting me. Let me take away some of the commission first. Let's say I'm splitting this with another agent. This is the harder thing. If this is just for you, then the unit being one and the commission being there, you're good to go. You can go down to the next step. However, if you're on a team or you need to split this with an agent that's in our office, this is how you do that. So let's say we're on a 50-50 split. If I change this from 3,000 to 1,500, then it allows it changes the commission below, and then I should be able to Yes. Click the down arrow and go to 50. If I'm splitting the unit as well. Okay. And let's just, if it will stop bouncing around. Let's say for some reason it's 0.55. Did you see how I was able to do that? You do have to use the down arrow key a little bit to get it down to the first little number behind the decimal point, but then you can change it to 0.55 or 0.25 in case you do need to do that. These two are not linked, however. It's not going to auto calculate the commission for you based on what you reduce the unit to. So make sure that you do figure that out separately. 0.5. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at a 0.5 so I can show you the splits down below. Now that I have, oh, I think I clicked on something. There we go. Now that I have told it that I'm getting $1,500 commission in half of the unit, I can scroll down. This is the new thing coming. It is not perfect, okay? So you will be able to see from checks that are posted. So Kara would have had to, it would have had to have closed. Kara would have had to receive the check, and Kara would have had to have input it into the system. Shortly, you are going to be able to see a live update as to what you actually owe on your cap and your royalty cap. So your company dollar cap and royalty cap. If you know you are capped and it is not showing right here that you are capped, please come up, click on the question mark over here and do chat with support and let them know. You don't have to actually speak to them if you don't want to. You can go ahead and just leave a message. Let them know. They know the algorithm is not 100% correct yet, and they need to know who it's not working for so they can figure out why it's not working 100% of the time. But it will automatically take out the royalty at 6% until it shows your cap, and the company dollar. I'm on an 80-20 split with the office. Doesn't matter. I'm not an agent. I'm not actually earning commissions. So, but it'll show your split and the company dollar that's coming out automatically. Don't worry. If this is not correct, that's okay. It's not actually going to change my win more system when I do your CDA, even if it's showing that you're not capped. If you are, it will not take out any additional company dollar or royalty. Down here is how you can do your deductions. So if you want to do KW Cares donation, you can do that there. Kids can, and Bold Scholarship. Now, to add a deduction like a referral, we're going to click on Add Item. This is me, right? I haven't added the additional agent yet. So when I get to the bottom of here and click Add Item, that's going to come out of my part of the commission. This is where you can add your bonus, your concession, your deduction, and your outside referral. If you are doing an outside referral, please click on outside referral, input the information at the top, but if you click on outside referral, then you can fill in that you're doing a 25% referral fee. It auto calculates that. Their tax ID, it needs to be an EIN, and it'd be 75 dash bunch of numbers. The broker's name, the agent's name, the address, the phone number, and click add. Okay, that's how it actually comes out of your running total. The one fee that is always on CDAs is the $15. So if you go click on there and click on deduction, you can do the $15. Don't worry, if you miss this, my system will catch it. It will automatically put it on there. That's okay. We can call it a TF, pay to Keller or KW Denton, however you want to. Denton. I'm sorry, it does currently ask for an address. I'm going to see if it'll let me. Okay, I'm going to click add. Oh, it doesn't like my address. There we go. Okay, and click add. So in the very near future, they're going to let you set up your standard deductions. So this one you could set up ahead of time. So it would be in that drop-down menu, transaction fee, or if you've got a transaction coordinator that you pay on every deal, you'll be able to set them up ahead of time. But currently it does require an address. So we click add. And as you can see right down below in the deductions, it added the $15. If I wanted to add another deduction for the TC, I could click deduction and fill it out here, and it would add it there. If I got a bonus, if this is a new build and I got a bonus, I could click add item and bonus. And let's say there was a new one, I'm getting a $1,000 realtor bonus. I can click add. And as you can see over here, it added the bonus and put it into the commission as well. It actually added the bonus up here, and you can edit it or throw it in the trash if you need to remove it. Okay, now I need to add another agent. I still have half of a unit and half of the commission left. And as you can see, that big red box from the green sheet, it didn't go away. It's just always up there. It's always watching to make sure that if you're missing something. If we click on add agent and find an agent, let's see if Jesse's in here. Okay, and find the agent and click add. That adds another agent down tree like it did in the green sheet. And now I can give Jesse the other half, and then I can give Jesse the other $1,500. Okay. So now Jesse has the other part, and if you notice, it actually does not have it up there saying that I'm missing it anymore. So I can come down and do the same thing for Jesse. If I needed to add a third agent, as long as this plus this did not equal up to the total commission, then the add agent at the bottom would still be available. But because it's actually fully distributed, it won't let me do that. Over here is a running total of all of the money and where it's going. So that way you can see what's happening. Again, it did pull up Jesse's information over here. It would show her cap if it was working for her as well. Okay. So now that I have all the money distributed, I have all of the deductions done, and I'm happy with this summary over here, all that is left to add a note. On a green sheet, it asked for the title company's email address. There's no place here currently for you to add the title company's email address. So this is where we ask that you do that. If you forget, don't worry, we will go into your documents and try to find it on the receipted page. If we can't find it on the receipted page, then we will send you an email with the CDA and say it does need to be forwarded to title. But if I know the email address, I can say MICHELLE at TRNT, at trnt.net. This is also where you can leave me any notes. So if you need to tell me any information about the concession, whether that goes to the buyer or the seller, or any notes that you would have added to the bottom of the green sheet. You can do that here as well. And you'll click add. And that adds it to the note right here. So when I pull up the commissions tab, I'll be able to see that. One thing to note, if you submit before you do that, you won't be able to enter it. So you do have to make sure that this is 100% ready to go before you're able to click submit. Then you're going to click submit. It doesn't like mine because I haven't actually attached this listing to a listing. You would do that out in the details section. I don't have a listing to attach this to, so I'm not going to be able to click submit. I can't make that red bar go away. But yes, you'll want to attach it to a listing in order to continue forwards. Once you click submit, if you have an approved file, you are done. When I go into, when I get marked as ready for CDA from Patty, I'll go in, I'll find this commissions tab, and we'll be good to go. I will import it. Once you have clicked submit, if you need to make any changes, please send me an email and let me know you need to make changes on the commissions tab. I actually have to go in and reject it in order for you to be able to make any changes. And once I have actually pulled it in and created your CDA, I am unable to reject it. So we will have to do revisions via email. So if you have a price reduction or anything. I hope that this has been helpful. If you have time, please play with this, maybe on your next deal. Even if you get through it and you decide, you know what, I'm not comfortable. I don't want to submit this way yet. That's fine. Just don't click submit and you can go do your green sheet. At some point though, this system will be the way to go. Once I create your CDA, I will come in and create a folder right here and upload your CDA into that folder. I will also send it to title if I have the email address, and to you as well via email. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email, dianaroberts@kw.com. I'd be glad to answer any questions. And since there were no questions, I'm going to go ahead and end this class early. Let me know if well, somebody's in here. It's Teresa. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'd be glad to help. Thanks. Have a great day.